If you're a dog owner in Park Ridge, this explainer is for you. We've put together a really practical guide to help you find the absolute best trainer for your dog and for your life right here in our community. So here's what we're going to cover. First, why training is so helpful, specifically here in Park Ridge. Then we'll get into the different methods and credentials to look for, the types of programs and what they cost, the crucial questions you need to ask a trainer, and finally, we'll wrap up with local rules and resources to help you out. Okay, so let's start with the why. Good training is about so much more than just sit and stay. It really unlocks the ability to fully enjoy everything our town has to offer with your dog right there with you. I mean, think about it. Having a calm, well-behaved dog makes those walks through the Uptown District or just relaxing at Hodges Park so much more pleasant, right? Good training gives you the confidence to handle those busier sidewalks without getting stressed, which makes your dog a true part of your life in the community. So before you even start searching for trainers, it's really helpful to understand the philosophies and the qualifications that separate, a hobbyist from a real professional. The absolute standard for modern humane dog training is something called positive reinforcement. Basically, instead of using fear or force, this method uses rewards. Treats, praise, a favorite toy to encourage good behavior. It's not just super effective, it also builds this amazing, trusting bond between you and your dog. Now, here's something you really need to know. Illinois doesn't require any state licensing for dog trainers. That makes professional certifications like these incredibly important. For general manners and obedience, look for credentials like CPDTK or KPACTP. But if you're dealing with tougher issues, like serious anxiety or aggression, you'll want a trainer with an advanced certification like a CBCCK. Okay, so now you know what methods and credentials to look for. Next up, let's talk about the different kinds of training available and what you should probably expect to budget for them here in the Park Ridge area. The two most common options you'll see are group classes and private lessons. Group classes are awesome for socializing your dog and helping them learn to focus when there are distractions around. Private lessons, though, are perfect for tackling those very specific at-home behaviors, like jumping on guests the second they walk in or barking at every squirrel out the window, because the training happens right where the problem is. And here's a general idea of the costs in Park Ridge and the surrounding Northwest Cook County area. As you can see, a 6-week group class is usually the most budget-friendly choice, while more intensive programs like a board and train are, well, a much bigger investment. Okay, once you have a few potential trainers on your list, it's time to have a chat. To help you figure out who's the right match, here are the most important questions you're going to want to ask. Start with this one. It's the most fundamental question you can ask. Their answer really should line up with that positive reinforcement approach we just talked about. You want to hear them talk about rewards and motivation, not things like correction or intimidation. Also, ask them what tools they use. It's a very direct way to understand their methods. Then, you can work through these other key points. Make sure to confirm their credentials, and ask how they tailor training specifically for our suburban environment, with all its squirrels and kids on bikes and delivery trucks. It's also so important to know how you'll be involved. Training is a partnership, so you need to ask how they'll keep you in the loop on progress and what you'll have to practice between sessions. Lastly, let's connect all of this training back to our actual community, because knowing the local rules and, where you can go to practice is just essential for success. Here is a perfect example of a specific local rule. Right here in Park Ridge, your leash can't be longer than 8 feet when you're in public. A good trainer is going to help you master that loose leash walking on a standard 6-foot leash, which makes sure you're always following the rules and that your dog is safe. And there are a couple of other important ordinances to know. You've got to have a current Cook County rabies tag on your dog's collar. And this is a big one. Excessive barking can actually be considered a public nuisance. This is where training can really help you be a considerate neighbor by managing things like anxiety or alert barking. So when you're ready to get out there and practice, Park Ridge has some fantastic spots. You can use the sidewalks in Uptown or the paths at Hodges Park for on-leash work with lots of real-world distractions. But, and this is important, for any off-leash practice, remember that the fenced-in dog park over at South Park is the only legal and safe place to do it. Picking the right trainer is really that first step toward building a wonderful life with your dog right here. With the right help and some practice, you'll be out there enjoying a peaceful walk through the forest preserve or just relaxing in Uptown with a confident, happy companion who is a welcome member of the whole Park Ridge community.